back, everybody. We are here today about to play some blue-white soldiers in Brothers War Standard. I'm a flyer power. I stream some Magic and some Dota. Let's see. Anything good here today? Not really. So I'm gonna jump right into our deck list for today. It says Bant, but it's not Bant. I'll tell you why in a second. So this is the way we're running it. Make it bigger. We have 2 Hopeful Initiates. I realize they're not soldiers, but this is a very aggro deck list. I wanted to make sure that I had the ability to start on turn 1 most games. So having 6 1-drops is just better. Also, the ability to destroy enchantments is very good, and artifacts, especially now that Brothers War's out, that'll become more relevant. But enchantments are still the name of the game for a lot of decks too, so its upside is worth putting up there, even though it doesn't have the soldier synergy like some of the other cards do. Recruitment Officer is just absolutely amazing. It's one of the reasons why soldiers in this iteration works. Just 1 mana, 2/1. So very aggressive, and then later in the game it can get you extra value. It's really everything the soldier deck won. We're running Fateful Absence, just for our ability to remove problematic creatures and planeswalkers. When you're playing an aggro deck, giving your opponent a clue often is not as bad as you would think it is, because if they're going to waste their mana drawing a card, they're falling further and further behind on board every time. So this card is just absolutely great. You could also run Soul Partition for a similar effect, but I think Fateful Absence for right now is just a little bit better. Our 2-drop slot, we have Guardian of New Benalia. Just the ability to have this come down and not die immediately is such a big thing. It survives wraths, it survives removal. You want to make sure that your early plays aren't disrupted so much so that your opponent can't just 1-for-1 you all the way up the curve and then you run out of gas. Next up we have Thalia, running 3 because it's legendary. You don't really want to see 2 of them in your opening hand, ideally. But you do always want the 1. The non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast is Thalia's way of protecting herself, and it's just a really solid card. If you've ever played with Thalia in other formats, you know exactly why. The first strike is surprisingly relevant for blocking and attacking, so really good card. Valiant Veteran, while it says 2-drop on there, I think you want to consider this card more of like a turn 4 2-drop. I really never want to be playing it on turn 2 because it's just a 2/2 for 2 that'll die if I'm playing it on turn 2. Ideally, I would have one of my other threats like Thalia or Guardian, and later on, once my board is set up, dropping a Valiant Veteran and just pumping the whole team is significantly better than dropping this on turn 2, maybe pumping one of our 2 1-drops. It's good, but because of that reasoning is why I dropped to 3 copies, because out of the 2-drops, I want Thalia and Guardian almost every game, or in every situation early on, and Valiant Veteran's one of those that I would prefer to have it in my hand later than earlier. I did just swap that from the list I was running earlier based on the feel of it. It felt like Valiant Veteran on 2 was just a mediocre play, so I dropped it down to 3. After that, we have Protect the Negotiators. Counterspell that gets more threatening for how many creatures you have. It can make a soldier. One of the good parts about being in blue is that we have access to counters, ways to protect our creatures, and this is a good way to do it while also making a soldier token. If you can get your board set up and then just sit on this, then you're in a really, really good spot. Aggro with counters back up. We've seen in the tempo list how good that can be, and our deck is surprisingly good at even going under the tempo list with how many 1-drops and how many 2-drops we have. In our 3-drop slot, we have Siege Veteran and Sky Strike Officer. Siege Veteran is kind of insurance against Wrath. When your non-token soldiers die, you get a soldier token. So he can turn a board of things that just died into a bunch of tokens, so at least you're not left with nothing after a Wrath. Also, he increases your clock significantly by putting a +1/+1 counter on target creature, making it easier for you to attack through. Just a very solid new addition to soldiers. Sky Strike Officer, I don't really feel like I need to talk about this one very much because you just look at it and you can see how powerful it is. It can make a soldier every time it attacks. It can draw you 3 cards when you tap 3 soldiers. It's a card that your opponent really has to deal with almost immediately when it hits the board. And it's just very good. And we have 2 Brutal Cathars. Brutal Cathar is an interesting card. Some games this will be the absolute best card in your deck, but most decks run a lot of removal, and if this card just gets answered, it's clearly not as good. It's why I don't run 4 copies of it. Like, I want it as kind of like, here I've set up my board and now I can get rid of a crucial blocker, but I don't really want to use it if I'm falling behind on board just to stabilize, because there's a good chance that it gets removed and it doesn't end up stabilizing me at all. In some matchups, you might even want more copies, and it's possible that you should put the other 2 Brutal Cathars in the sideboard. I did not with this exact list, but you are welcome to do as you would like to do. Next up, we have Mural. 3 of this again. It's legendary. You don't want to see like 2 to 3 copies of this in your hand at a time, so run a little bit less. But this card is very, very good. Make sure you play it pre-combat if your opponent has mana up. I get that could walk into a counter potentially, but like your opponent has Wandering Emperor, you want to make sure that you force them to play their Wandering Emperor before combat, and now you can decide, I don't want to attack with my Sky Strike Officer because it has too much value. And if you get 1 attack off with Mural, she makes so many tokens that it's often game winning, especially if you have Sky Strike Officer, because you can tap those soldiers immediately to draw you even more cards and refill your hand. The mana base is pretty basic. We run 4 Fortified Beachhead. We have plenty of soldiers to make sure this comes into play untapped. It can buff the team +1/+1, which is relevant. Only soldiers though, so it's not buffing our Hopeful Initiate. We have 4 Adhikar Waste. Deals white, adds white, adds blue. Deals damage to us, which can be relevant, but it's not so relevant that I wouldn't play it. We have 2 Mishra's Foundry for a little bit of reach. We're 2 colors, but we're really not as much blue. We have 8 blue cards, so adding a colorless land is not too much of a hindrance on our mana base, and just the ability for that extra reach. We want to have like Guardian that survives Wrath, Siege Veterans that'll help us survive Wrath, Mishra's Foundry that can attack through Wrath, because in an aggro list you just want that little bit of extra damage to come through. And so that is otherwise just 10 planes, because we're mostly white, 3 islands, and that is how we're running it. Moving on to the sideboard, we have Banishing Slash. Enchantments are all over the place. This gets rid of them. Also, you want to bring this card in against the Delver decks. Just more removal spells against Delver. Very important. Calamity's Wake is kind of an awesome card. You're not really using it for the graveyard effects. What you're doing is you're setting up your board And then you want to use one of these two Calamity's Wakes on your opponent's turn to make sure they can't cast any wrath effects on their turn. You say no non-creature spells, and now they just have to deal with your board with creatures, or deal with your board on your turn, which if you have Mural out with Calamity's Wake, you can stop them from playing non-creatures on both of your turns, which makes it really hard for your opponent to deal with you. I've used it a couple times, and it's felt really good in those matchups where you have to worry about a lot of wrath effects. 3 Destroy Evils. Once again, enchantments are rampant. I want to have as many ways to remove enchantments as possible. It's also good against Shieldred in matchups that you'll need to get rid of Shieldred, as well as Rafine. It has a lot of versatility, which is why I put one on the sideboard. This is the spicy tech of the deck, is that I put in 4 Obstinate Baloth with no green to cast them. Basically, when you're playing against black, and they're playing Liliana's, and they're playing Graveyard Trespasser, you bring in the Obstinate Baloths and punish them for making you discard. You just get a free 4/4 that gains you 4 life. And I tell you, no one is going to play around Obstinate Baloth in a deck that can't cast Obstinate Baloth. So that is exactly why I run it in the sideboard. I do it for the Gotems. I enjoy getting people like that. You don't have to. You can put a different card in there. There's plenty of good white cards to sideboard. You can use your own discretion on that. I run a Platoon Dispenser. Like, our deck can reasonably get up to 5 mana. This card will draw you more cards. It'll make more soldiers. It can also come back from the graveyard with haste for an extra bit of reach. So, positives all around on that one. March is another removal spell. It's versatile. It hits artifacts, creatures, enchantments. It's a little bit slow unless you're willing to get rid of cards in your hand, but you definitely bring it in against those low-to-the-ground matchups like Delver. And finally, we have Kayla's Reconstruction. It can be sorcery speed, a little bit more expensive Collected Company, but sometimes that's good enough. Sometimes that'll just do what you want it to do. And so that's the deck list. We're going to take it into a league. I've played with it in the standard metagame challenge, and was able to get 3 wins each time. Midweek Magic is standard. Maybe we'll start with the Midweek Magic. That's a good place to test it out. And these games will hopefully show us what needs tweaking so that we can make the list as good as we can possibly make it. Bandito. Okay. This is a solid hand. I would rather have a different 2-drop. But I don't think you throw this one back. You have 1-drop, you have a 2-drop, you have a removal spell, you have a mural. Like, it's kind of why you're playing soldiers, right? To have hands like this, so we're not throwing it back. This is one of the non-bow synergies with Valiant Veteran and Hopeful Initiate, but interesting. Our opponent is also on soldiers, but our soldiers are going to be a little bit better than his if he's running Survivor of Corliss. Like, that card is fine, but I get why you run it. You want another 1-drop. That's why I'm running Hopeful Initiate, right? But the value on this is very low. Like, First Strike can be relevant, but it's not actively good. So now we have options. We can kill Thalia and attack, and I think that's probably what I want to do. go ahead and get a counter on our Hopeful Initiate. And we're hoping to draw land so we can play Mural. We did not, but we did draw a 2-drop, so we can just go ahead and play out all these cards. No good attacks. I mean, Hopeful Initiate could attack, but I prefer to get the counter on it. Ah, they have a Mural. Come on, land. Get us a land so we can play our Mural. There we go. Okay. Now we play our Mural. And I guess we can attack and enlist with this guy. We'll enlist our recruitment officer. Oh. Enlist our recruitment officer. See how they're feeling. I don't need any more lands. We'll put those to the bottom. Take 9. Pretty good. We have really good blocks for their attacks. And like, I think right now, in a hand like this, you're definitely seeing why Survivor of Corliss is not very good. And they can't really attack with Mural to get all those extra soldiers because their Mural will just die to our Mural. Ooh, now they can't attack. Now things could get rough. Them having lay down arms there was very good for them. No blocks. Can't really block it successfully. Okay, so you are gonna activate. We're gonna need to find something good. We just gotta make sure we keep our blockers up so Mural can't get through again. We got really punished for attacking with Guardian last turn. He might go for the soldiers anyway. But yeah, we gotta block Mural. You can block one of you, and you block you. We'll take 8. I don't think we win this game. It doesn't look good. But, we'll try. Give it our best go. Yeah, I think we can go ahead and concede this. They just attacked through with all their tokens. In hindsight, shouldn't attack with Mural there. I mean, shouldn't have attacked with Guardian of New Benalia because of the potential for Mural to do that. In a sideboarded game, I think we can win that matchup pretty easily. We bring in all of our extra removal. He's playing a bunch of air in his deck with those 1-drops. But he did get us there on game 1. He had the removal spell at the right time. We might have used our removal a little too early when we hit Thalia. I like this hand a lot. We don't have a 1-drop, but we have this amazing curve out of threats, and we're going first. Another thing we did wrong last turn is I showed a card for Fortified Beachhead and then I didn't cast the card, so I just basically gave my opponent free value. That's not something you should do. Okay, burn. Thalia is good against burn. Slows them down significantly, and having a second Thalia is also really good because it forces, if they answer our first one, which they're heavily incentivized to do, our second one just becomes that much better. We don't block here. We block the second one if they attack, but we don't block the first one. We'll just get our Siege Veteran online. Make Thalia a little bigger. I'm gonna attack. I think we try and race this. They're already at 15. It's really hard to block prowess creatures. But if we can stick Mural. Okay, second Siege Veteran. Should be solid. Put a counter on you. Put a counter on you. Attack for 7. We're winning the race right now. That does make things a little bit harder, but our Thalia is doing work in this matchup, as Thalia does. We're taking 10. I think it is worth it to get rid of this guy for one of our Siege Veterans. We're gonna have to play defense now. Play this Mural. Put a counter. Now we're playing defense. This is gonna be tough though. We still have pretty good blocks. Like this eats this eats this. They might play a pump effect, but yeah. Kind of a blowout, but like we don't actually lose a Siege Veteran in this scenario. We do lose Thalia. We have another one, but I think this game has gotten away from us. At the very least, we get that soldier. We get to play this guy. We get to play another Thalia to try and slow him down a bit. Make Mural bigger. Attack with Mural. Make a whole bunch of soldiers. So now we have chump blockers. It just depends on if they have face burn as to whether they're going to beat us here. Well, that is 1 point of burn. We're at 1. This is kind of a weird attack to me. They have no combat tricks available. They only have 1 mana. We have the Thalia in play. So I just get to eat these creatures. And then I get to play this guy. Everything's real big. I'm gonna swing out because I will make a whole bunch more tokens. It's possible they just have another Kamano, and that will just kill us, but at the very least, the board's clear. We have a bunch of blockers. Okay, that's a good sign. Yeah, okay. That should do it. We got there. Nice. That's an example of what Mural can do in a deck. Like, it looked so rough in that position. Mural gets 1 attack off. We make enough soldiers to where it really turns the game around. We got 1 win, and we got Jing attack. Nice. Try and keep things going. Zach Shinra. I really like the Elspeth thing. This is another hand that's pretty good. I wish it started on 1. That would be the only way that this is better, but like hard to deal with 2-drop into 3-drop into Mural. I'm not gonna mulligan that 90% of the time. Beachhead. I'm not going to show them anything. There's no point in having it come in untapped. They know I'm not playing anything that would necessitate them having to counter it, or having to play around like a Spell Pierce or something. Like, that's not something that you would play in a deck like this. Spirited Companion. This looks like, it looks like the Raffine deck. Yeah, I'll show you now. You're tapped out, so there's no point in playing at second main. It's probably a good habit to play at second main anyway, but I'm always more of a fan of speed when someone's tapped out. But yeah, if you want to make yourself habitually ready, then just hold your Skystrike Officer, and that'll be fine too until you've already attacked. And this is one of the good things about Skystrike Officer. It's like a must deal with threat that your opponent has, and that leads the way into your Mural really well, because they use their removal on your Skystrike Officer, and now Mural's down, and like if they have counters, they're just done. Mural says no counters. It forces them to have 2 removal spells, and we have more Skystrike Officers and more Murals in our deck. Their creatures are not going to be good enough to deal with this. The colors they're in do have lots of removal spells, so it's possible they can deal with it. But I'm gonna keep dropping threats. Like next turn I'll drop another Mural. The turn after that I'll drop a Skystrike Officer. They're gonna have a creature that they're wanting to have to deal with every single turn. So we're going to tax them heavily on that. And you see, having 2 Murals can be good because your opponent used one thing to get rid of it, and then you just dropped another one. So far, I think things are in our favor right now. They do have 2 more cards than us and a right in the graveyard, but the right's a little too expensive, and all Mural really needs is one good turn to really punish your opponent. Also, when Mural's out, you want to play your creatures first main to get that extra soldier once it attacks. Is there a take your time button? There is not. Extraction Specialist, getting back Spear. Like, this is just perfect. I don't mind this at all. Unless they have another Rite of Oblivion. Then I do mind it just a touch. Okay, no, this is great. Mural has succeeded in doing what Mural wants to do. We will drop probably Siege Veteran. And that way we can just go Skystrike Officer, and then we'll go to combat, we'll attack Mural, we'll attack with Guardian, and now we've made 3 soldiers. We can draw a card with Skystrike. He'll probably double block the Mural. That's fine. Mural has done what Mural wanted to do. She got a 2-for-1. Like, next turn, they were probably killing Mural either way with the right in their graveyard. But now we have the extra bonus of being able to tap all these and draw cards. And the reason we kept the second Skystrike is because if he writes our first Skystrike, we'll just have another one to play next turn. If he runs Farewell, that could be a beating. It's one of the reasons why we're running the lands, because Farewell is one of the few things that really can get us. I had a feeling they would do that. I might as well tap that one to draw the card. That's a good draw. We can play both of these next turn. And oh, and Amisha's Foundry. Okay, we're just everything's going our way right now. I'm only gonna attack with like this. No. Yeah, gonna attack like this because I want to be able to draw a card. I think it's better than 2 damage to draw a card. I don't really want either of those, so I'm just gonna send them. And once again, your go, opponent, to try and deal with the board. And this is really an example of what this deck can do. Every turn we're putting out a threat that their opponent has to deal with, and if they don't deal with it, they're just falling further and further behind. Even getting these 2-for-1s, which technically a 3-for-1 because it brings back a card that draws you a card, they're still behind on board to what we're doing. Next turn we have the option to Fortified Beachhead to attack for a whole bunch, which we'll probably take instead of activating the Foundry. It's kind of weird because, like, if he has a removal spell, Sky Strike Officer is providing me cards every turn. Valiant Veteran is what's making it a threat right now. So, tap, 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 draw a card. That's a good draw. That's an even better draw. Okay, so I'm going to start by doing this. I don't want him to have any life gain. And then we'll just attack with everybody. And we will see how he reacts. Make another soldier. Another soldier. Okay, we got him. Yeah, this deck is very satisfying to play. I'm really happy with the way it's turned out. Nice. 500 gold, 500 XP, all the mastery stuff. Grab another Scheming Fence. Interesting. We'll do one more of these, hopefully. We'll get the win, so we won't have to play this version again. Then we can start moving to the best of 3. The best of 3, hopefully we'll get to show off the deck a little bit better. Even though it is very solid in best of 1s. I think you're seeing right now in these opening hands exactly what I was talking about with why I play the 2 copies. What's the card thing? The 1-drop, the 1/2. This name is escaping me right now. The reason I play 2 copies of that card is because you want to be starting on 1, especially against decks like Delver. 3 Thalias. We have all 3 of our Thalias in our hand. Which, if we can stick it against Delver, is fantastic. But, so maybe this is the one matchup where having 3 is not so bad. I'm glad that their Delver is not flipping. That is helping us tremendously in this game. So, we'll just try it again. Thalia number 2. Oh, it's stuck. That's really good. Really, really good. make disappear. We know that that's there. We can play around it now. That being said, there's not a whole lot of ways to play around it. We do have Protect the Negotiators. We might just sit on Protect the Negotiators this turn. I think that's what we're gonna do. Everything else will just lose to make disappear. Though it is possible, instead of sitting on Protect the Negotiators, that I should Fateful Absence now, and then try and resolve a card on my turn. That's what I'm gonna do. It will make him use 3 mana for this Make Disappear if he uses that one. Or it'll make him use like a slip out the back that's gonna stop him from attacking this turn, because why I did it in combat. Yeah, exactly. We just saved ourselves a bunch of damage. He's still holding up his Make Disappear, but now we can play Siege Veteran while being able to pay for Make Disappear. And that also will add a counter to Thalia, so we can attack even stronger. And see, now the race is starting to turn. It's 15-15. They're attacking for 4, we're attacking for 6. And we can sit on our counter spells, which Delver is not a huge fan. Okay, that does make things worse for us, but at least we have this guy. So now, our Thalia can attack right through the Tolarian Terror. And we have this Protect the Negotiators. Do I take 9? Probably not. I'll get rid of the Valiant Veteran. We can attack for 10 next turn if he doesn't play something to block with, though. Or I guess it's not 10, it's only 8 because the Veteran's dead. Or is the Veteran dead? Ironically, he has activated our Protect the Negotiators while this card is phased out. So we have a counter spell for 3. Ooh, a Spell Pierce. Okay. What do we got? That's not very good. Yeah, I think we lost this one. Just a little bit too slow. The 2 tears ended up being too much. That's gonna happen sometimes. This is where the board, like, for the Delver matchup, we bring in almost all our removal spells, and also, you know to keep a hand that's a little bit lower to the ground when you're playing against Delver. So I think that the Delver matchup historically is very good. This is one of those awkward hands where Valiant Veteran is not the best 2-drop, like I was talking about when I was talking about what cards I play in the deck. But hey, let's try and get a feel for how this deck works. I'm gonna try this hand. We have lands and spells. Not ideal lands and spells, but lands and spells all the same. I think next turn we play Plains Valiant Veteran. There's no reason to show them that we are blue-white until we need blue, so if he attacks, I might, yeah, I think I'm going to trade. Like I said, not our best 2-drop. If we can make them use their whole turn 2 just trading with our 2-drop that also has a graveyard effect, this next turn when I play Sky Strike Officer, just has added value. We're not going to block this time. There's no reason to. Black's removal also is not based on power toughness, so that extra 1 bonus is not going to matter all that much. Red's removal is, but I didn't see that. So it makes sense that our opponent didn't show it the same way we didn't show blue. This is a great Brutal Cathar turn. You want to play it when you don't get punished for using it, and you don't get punished for using it when you can eat a token. This is an example of one of those times that Brutal Cathar is very... Oh, wow. They just surrendered. I don't think they were so far behind that they couldn't win. I know we were in a good position, but I wonder what happened. Maybe they didn't hit a land drop. It's possible. And we got the Skitterbeam Battalion. Glad I didn't pick that up yesterday, because I got it for free today. Okay, do the mastery tree real quick, and then we will go back and start playing our league, like the actual league with it. Okay, so home. Whoops, doesn't play right here. Traditional standard event, I think is what we do. Yes, traditional standard event. Bringing in our soldier deck. I'm hopeful that this deck can do well. I don't necessarily think that it's going to be a 5-0 deck as it is right now, but we'll see if we can tweak it and make it a 5-0 deck by the end of the stream today. It's always good just to make tweaks as you're going along, see what you can do, make things better. You get a feel for how things work. Like, the reason we're running 3 of the Lords is because my feeling of it was that it wasn't as good as I needed it to be. This is a good hand. 1, 2, 3 with a Mishra's Foundry that we can sit on as well. That being said, you could play Waste to play Recruitment Officer. That way you could play Foundry instead of an island. You take 1 damage, but the upside being that you have the Foundry down. But I plan on playing something on turn 3, so it's not that big of a deal. I basically was gonna counter anything. Like, I have better things to do with my mana, so I'm not gonna waste time picking and choosing what to counter. Artifact spell. So this is an artifact blue-red deck. Okay. Very interesting. Them getting rid of our 1-drop is totally fine with me. I'll just play the Siege Veteran. Put a counter. Attack for 3. Make another 1/1. This is a very interesting deck from our opponent. I haven't seen something like it before. Type 4. Exile it. Oh, so he's trying to put a bunch of artifacts down so that he can... Okay, so play another one of these guys. I think that's better than activating Mishra's Foundry. Attack with everybody. Take another one. So he does have that now. It can't really block what we're doing. That can kind of block, but not really. We do, okay, so play Athalia. Make things harder for our opponent. Activate a Foundry. And since we have Thalia, we'll make 2 tokens so we can draw a card even with attacking with everybody. He can kill our Foundry, that's fine. goal is just to pump as much damage as we can. And then we're gonna tap 3 cards, draw a card. Yeah. That's how you want it to work. So against an artifact deck, we'll take Banishing Slashes and we'll take March. I didn't see a single counter spell. So a card like Kayla's Reconstruction, or I'm actually going to bring in Platoon Dispenser. I think if there was a matchup for Platoon Dispenser, this would be it. I'm going to drop our counter spells because I think we can play pretty fairly. I'm not expecting to worry about Wraths in this matchup. So I'm just going to run it like this. Ojitai. Oh, Dragon Lord Ojitai was a pretty awesome card in its heyday. This hand's not ideal because our only white source is dealing us damage, but it's good enough to keep, and we have 3 islands and 2 of them are in our opening hand. That's kind of funny. Starting on 1, always good. We're going to deal ourselves lots of damage this game, though. It's good that our opponent is doing the same thing. We'll go ahead and attack. Play this guy. Another damage. Ow. Hope that the enthusiastic Mechanaut doesn't let them go off here. Surge Engine. That's interesting. Yeah, that's fine. Turn. We'll play Sky Strike Officer. The first time we haven't punched ourselves with our mana. Then we'll attack. Like, we'll never be able to block Surge Engine, so there's no point in pretending that we can if he just pumps it up. We just need to draw a white source, and this Banishing Slash can get rid of Surge Engine easy peasy. Drawing white would be the best draw on our deck, I think. Return that to our hand. That doesn't seem very good. To hit us for 2 damage, he returned it to our hand, but we're just gonna play it back out and hit him for 2 damage again. Like, you spin a whole card and a whole turn to basically stay even in the race that we're in? That doesn't seem very good. Ooh, Saheeli's good. We hadn't seen that before. I wonder if he's gonna draw a card or just make Thopters. I would just make Thopters if I were him. Yeah.
Look how my art hums with life.
Okay. Yay, white source. Okay. That does this for us. We can get rid of Surge Engine. Combat. Enlist. Attack. Because our Guardian of New Benalia will survive the attack. Oh, and a Fateful Absence for if the Saheeli doesn't end up dying here. So that's pretty good. Saheeli's gonna draw him a card. He could technically attack for 2, probably. The reason that I enlisted is because I was unwilling to lose the officer. It was very important to me not to
Let's see where this
trade it off. Its late game potential is very strong. Patchwork Automaton. If he does have a lot of artifacts, that card's going to be good. That being said, that is something that can be blocked by Guardian of New Benalia pretty easily. Okay. I was going to say that was a bad attack, but it looks like he thought better of it. Oh, he is attacking. So now I get to eat his, I get to eat his other one. Attacking Saheeli. And then I get to kill Saheeli anyway. And then I get to play another one of these.
I've got some good ideas for next time.
Our mana base is killing us. Okay, and now that we've finished getting rid of Saheeli, we can hold back our Skystrike Officer, and we will have to hold it back because of how much aerial threat that our opponent has. That being said, this Patchwork Automaton, oh, bunch of tutus with haste. That is not, this is not ideal by any stretch. We're not dead. We get to eat a couple tutus, but we're gonna lose cards out of our hand to do it. Okay, so yeah, we got it. Tap these three guys, draw a card, so we can see that's a good draw, except that it needs to be tapped, right? Still probably worth keeping. Okay, we are at 2. Is there a way we can survive this? The Surge Engine can't be blocked. If the Surge Engine wasn't here, we would be okay. So I think what I have to do is I have to play this. Tap, 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 see if we can draw anything. We cannot. They got us on this one. Okay. Based on what we saw that time, maybe we bring the counter spells back in. I don't know. Banishing Slash is a little weak to specifically Surge Engine. This is one of the matchups where I'd love to have a bunch more Brutal Cathars. I don't know. I think we might run it back. We're going to be on the play. And I think we can get underneath them fairly well. These Obstinate Baloths has been... we haven't played any black. And when we do, those Baloths are going to go. But we have spam in the chat. Get out of here. Remove. 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 Report. Okay. There we go. We will play first. Always. This is a good hand. This is a great hand. I'm gonna start out like this. This is where I was talking about Valiant Veteran not being a 1-drop and not being a 2-drop. Like, it's in an ideal circumstance when you're dropping it on turn 4. If he just plays the flyer here, we get to drop a Siege Veteran and attack through. Make him want to trade, make him want to trade it to not take a bunch of damage. Play another Beachhead, show him the Siege Veteran, play the Siege Veteran. There's no 1-mana counter spell, so we're not worried about that. A lot of the cards you want to play in this deck, you'll want to play free combat because they add added value. Siege Veteran being one of them. He did have this reach, the channel cards, which can kind of get around Thalia a little bit. Which is not ideal. Okay, so we'll do this. We have Fateful Absence for what he plays. And Recruitment Officer is a mana sink for the fact that we flooded out. We can't deal with that one right off the bat because of the ward. Ward here is being annoying. Foundry is another good mana sink. Attack. Yeah, I'll keep it alive. Sure. I probably should have done this before I attacked, but it's fine. I didn't think he would block with his automaton, to be honest. My goodness, Skitterbeam Battalion is a beating. Okay, so we definitely attack here. If he goes to block like one for one blocks, we'll just beachhead to eat some people. If he doesn't go to block like that. Okay, so he does let us eat. Nope. Okay, he's letting us eat. That would be ideal for us. Okay. And we will take this opportunity to... Oh, wow. I forgot that because this was dying, it would get rid of both of them. That was a punt on my part. I think you're a bit premature, opponent, as far as calling good game on that. We still have a Mishra's Foundry to attack you with, and we got this Banishing Slash to deal with your Patchwork Automaton. Half of our deck adds more cards in the deck, so... Good game is premature. Our death was premature. You have a 2/2. And here I thought our opponent was being so nice before, and then they called good game early. Because they made one play that was good, or it was mostly just a punt on my part. Next turn I can attack with the Foundry. We'll see how aggressive our opponent ends up being. That was preferred. I want him to trade his Mechanaut. We really just flooded out is the only problem. I think it might be better just to activate Recruitment Officer. Get another creature. We don't trade off. Our Recruitment Officer is going to keep providing value. We have so many lands that we're going to get like... Oh dear. Yeah, I gotta say our opponent is really annoyed. They did win the game, but if you type good game after you've killed somebody, that's, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just less rude, is the word I was looking for. So I think we will edit the sideboard. If mono black's not a thing, we gotta take out the Baloths. As fun as they are. I love playing the Baloths, but if we're not gonna play against mono black, they're not doing anything. And if we are playing against artifacts, in hindsight, counterspells should stay in that matchup, but once again, like, we just drew too many lands. It happens. You draw a lot of lands, you don't draw your good cards. That'll end up happening. And we did punt that one play. This is like every hand I get is like just on the edge. I don't want to draw a single other land in this hand. Okay, so we're playing against enchantments, it looks like. Expect this deck to be almost everywhere, to be honest. Oh, that's not too bad. I'm not gonna block. Is he? Yeah, I don't think you're gonna block either, so. We'll play the waste, we'll play this guy. Take a damage. Go ahead and attack you for 2. You can attack for 3 again. I'm not gonna block again. We'll start holding up Protect the Negotiators next turn. Until we see the Jukai Naturalist, I'm not super worried about what this deck is doing. That's the card that lets them start to play unfair. Our own Valiant Veteran got us there. Because of that, I might just play Siege Veteran and Recruitment Officer. Like, we need to have a little bit more pressure on the board. I'd ideally like to draw Mural. I feel like I say that all the time. What is the decision tree here? Attack for 3. Are you blocking my 2/2 with your 1/1 when it goes back down? I feel like the enchantment deck is all about a critical mass of enchantments, so him losing an enchantment to block my creature works against his game plan. But like, if he doesn't attack here, he's pretty much forcing himself to block. Because otherwise he's just wasting 3 damage. For me, this wouldn't be a hard choice for if I was the opponent, but okay. He arrived at the same conclusion I did. He just took his time getting there, and perhaps that's not a bad thing. This reveal is actually going to be clutch for us because we'll get to see whether we need to hold up Protect the Negotiators. Okay, land. We don't need to hold it up right now. Okay, so play Siege Veteran, play Recruitment Officer, we put a counter, we attack. And next turn we get to hold up both of these, which will be fantastic. Runic. How odd. I would not have expected Runic Shot to be in this deck. In fact, this list, playing Valorous Stance and Runic Shot is not constructed playable. Especially if you're not in blue. The fact that you need your opponent's creature to be tapped means there will be certain situations where you just have... And also that was sequenced poorly. If he attacks, I'll block the 1/1 on the 1/1. Okay, he did not. So we'll just hold up everything. No reason to do anything. We're not under any threat. No, thank you. This is why we were holding up our Protect the Negotiators. We might Fateful Absence Portrait and just try and get aggressive. We can even activate Foundry. Or we can just Valiant Veteran to make all of our stuff a little bit bigger. I'd probably rather activate Foundry in the face of a Death Toucher, because I do imagine that he trades off. The reason that I did that end of turn, mana efficiency, and so that if he does draw a card, he can't play it. Okay, I'm putting this guy down. I am gonna attack with everybody. I don't know if that's correct, because we could draw a card with it, but once again, his deck is all about a critical mass of enchantments, If I can make sure that he's got as few enchantments on the board as possible, it makes me more likely to win. Naturalist is annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Another borrowed time would be really bad. Hold for ransom. Hold for ransom. Interesting. We'll just activate this guy. Grab another one of these. We can still activate his effect. Bing, bing, bing. Draw another card. This guy's playing a bunch of really weird cards. I wonder if this is a budget list. Because I would not expect the actual enchantments deck to be running Hold for Ransom, nor would I expect them to be running Runic Shot.
Point me towards
Elspeth
the fight.
is a good card.
I'm ready. Let's do this together.
But if he attacks with this guy, I'm just going to run everything at his Elspeth and probably kill it, unless he puts a vigilance counter on it. He did put a vigilance counter. That's fine though. Like, is he gonna trade it next turn for my recruitment officer? If so, sure. No attacks. I'm actually just gonna play out all of my stuff and then pump everybody next turn. Wedding announcement's not too bad. 2 wedding announcements is not ideal, but we'll make do. I imagine Elspeth ticks down, but he might just give it flying.
Be brave.
He's had some interesting choices in this game. Yeah, you got it, Chief. You got it. He is at 20. This is not ideal by any stretch. Okay, so we'll do this. Oh, I forgot to draw last turn. I really punted there. Next, 2 attackers. You attack and list. You 2 attack. We're gonna have to chump with our officer. I'm leaving one of these guys back to. I have to leave both of them back to draw. Things have really gone poorly right now. I don't think Siege Veteran gets us there. We really just need another Sky Strike officer. His janky removal is actually turning out to be significant. I wonder if he just makes the Angels now. If he makes the Angels, we probably die. We will see how it goes.
We'll light up every dark corner of this city.
But this is a best of 3. And we are prepared. I guess I could have attacked with one more creature. Just tap, 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 tap. Draw a card. Not a bad draw. But might be too little too late now. They just have too much going on. Yep, too little too late. We'll bring in all of our enchantment hate. We have quite a bit of it. 3 destroy evils, 2 banishing slash, and a march. Brutal Cathars are good in this matchup. Guardian is less good because none of his one of his removing spells, Runic Shot in particular, would be stopped by that, but otherwise, We have 2 more cards to cut. Maybe we drop Fateful Absence because we're bringing in so much removal. I'm going to try it like that. We're bringing in so much enchantment removal that I don't think we need as much direct creature removal. Because everything in its deck is an enchantment. Besides Elspeth. What on earth is that hand? And that hand. Well, looks like RNG was not in our favor. We'll get rid of the 2 Fateful Absences. We only have 2 left in the deck, and we got them both. This is going to be a hard game. Mulling to 5. Well, we're hitting our lands at least, so that's positive. We're going to need 1 more land, because we're going to need to curve this out perfectly. I guess that's not the worst. Siege Veteran allows us to attack through. The next Siege Veteran can double pump something. That's great for us that he is willing to just sack his Spirited Companion. If he kills this, it makes a soldier. If we play another one and they kill it, it makes 2 soldiers. But I really would like to draw land here to play Myrel. That's perfectly fine. Okay, we're doing it. We are doing it. Next turn we play Veteran and attack with Mural. Unless he has some way to deal with it. But if he's dealing with Myrel, then we play another Siege Veteran and attack for 7. And present lethal on board. And this is a mold of 5. Imagine if we had just 2 more cards. What we could be doing. Yep, kind of priced into that. Now we play you, and we play you. The reason that we're doing it like this is because... And remember, Hopeful Initiate can take the counters off of either creep. Like, it doesn't have to take the counters off of itself. So we can get our Mural back at instant speed with our Hopeful Initiate next turn. Also, he'll grow himself just by having these 2 more powerful creatures. And it's also not going to be obvious to our opponent that that's our plan, because Recruitment Officer is also a perfectly valid reason to hold up all your mana. Hey, look at that. We got another soldier. Yeah, so this will be a 3/3. We will attack with you guys. Actually, I'll attack with that guy too. If he wants to eat my 1/1 token, he can eat my 1/1 token. And take 9. That seems bold on my opponent's part, because now he's at 2 and we have a Mishra's Foundry. And we also are getting our Mural back. Mold of 5. We're doing it. Mold of 5 drawing none of our sideboard cards, and we're doing it. Yeah, totally fine. What else you got? Okay. 2 2/2s. And now for the surprise. He's back! And you can't do anything on my turn now. Yep, there we go, multi 5 and we won. Soldiers! That was another example of like the 2-drop that's a lord doesn't really do anything. It doesn't put that much pressure on. Whereas the other cards really do. This is a good hand though. If we can just get lands, we will have a really good chance to win this game. If he plays Jukai Naturalist, I'm tempted to just kill it, but okay, he does not. So that is fine with me. We really need to draw lands. Otherwise, we might lose a game that we should win, absolutely. Come on, lands. Come on, lands. If we can go Siege Veteran into Mural into Valiant Veteran, that would be fantastic. Ah! Looks like we're gonna have to do this. An attack. If he wants to Death Touch our Hopeful Initiate, that's fine. It's a 1-drop for a 1-drop. It's not significant. We really need to hit lands though. Without them, we will lose the game. And I don't like losing the game. I wonder if our opponent is also not hitting lands. Nope, he's got all the lands. Must be nice. Must be nice. Once again, people getting rid of our Thalias is actually opening up our mana for Destroy Evils, but I think having another Thalia is just better. We just want to be playing Thalia all the time, but I really, really, really need a land. Like, he's one away from Elspething. I will kill that card with Destroy Evil if he gets rid of Thalia. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. My goodness, we cannot draw a land to save our lives. Our land count is not, like, low, so I'm a little surprised at how hard it is to find lands. Okay, that's not too bad. A 4/4 doggo. Maybe we kill the dog next turn. Maybe not. Maybe I just play 2 recruitment officers and try and play aggressively. Oh, thank the Lord! We hit a land! I always like to put the counter on the creature that's already in play. Siege Veteran itself, because of putting on the counter, is something your opponent wants to get rid of. So you want to encourage them to get rid of anything else besides him. He might attack with the dog to get in for the damage, but like, we're not going to block. Our goal is to race you back. Not a land, but not the worst. So put another counter on our veteran. He might die right now because this person has played Destroy Evil before. Our Valor Stance is also another, but like, now we get a 1/1. Not the end of the world. And we get to play 1, 2, 3 recruitment officers. And he has a 3/3. ain't that bad for us. And 1 card in hand. If we just draw lands, we can play Myral. Him getting rid of that makes me want to Fateful Absence him, but I don't want to give him another card. So I'm just going to play this guy. And we're just going to draw a bunch of cards. I will double block Portrait, probably. Yeah, probably. Probably worth doing. And he's realized that it is. But he also will now realize that I'm getting my lands finally. And I can play the bomb. Things have definitely turned in our favor pretty heavily. He's got to get rid of Myral. He's got to get rid of Sky Strike Officer. Why are you playing Adeleine in this deck? Our opponent's deck choices for his deck have been very odd. Pass to blockers. Okay, so we'll block you on you, and you on you. Nope, you on you, and you on you, and I'll take 4. And before damage, tap, tap, tap. Yep. Okay, we did it. Including a mold to 5, we have won a game with our soldiers list. Oh my goodness, more spam in the chat. Remove, remove, remove. Report. Yes, feel free to put any rational thing in the chat. I love reading and hearing suggestions, but if you're gonna put spam links, just get it out of here. Get it out of here. Yeah, in case you didn't realize, my monitor is over on the right. So if I'm looking at chat, I have to look over to the right. My desk is pretty small. It's not big enough to hold both of the monitors. Mulligan. Okay, this is better. We'll put back Protect the Negotiators because we don't have a blue source in this opening hand. Easy peasy. We'll start with Recruitment Officer, I think. We can attack for 3. Yep, that looks like it can block, but surprise, it's not. We really want to draw our 3rd land here. Have it be a white source. If he attacks, I'm not blocking. My goal is to run at him. Now if he attacks, I'm blocking, but okay. We didn't hit our land. That's not good. Less than ideal. I do think I run Recruitment Officer in. He wants to trade it for the underdog. That's fine with me. He does not. So we've already dealt 6 damage with a 1-drop. That's pretty dang good. Misery Shadow's a good card. I put it in my mono black deck. If you look at the stream from earlier that we did with mono black, it's pretty much that list. Siege Veteran is very good. Go to combat. We're gonna put the counter on our Valiant Veteran. The reason being cut down. We're trying to make sure that if he had cut down, he used cut down right now. We are going to attack with this guy, enlisting our Recruitment Officer. He doesn't have good blocks for this. I don't really want either of these. Now that I have my island, I don't need another island. And, yeah, our opponent's in this weird place where they have all these creatures and they don't really have good blocks. So the question is, are they going to try and go aggressive? But they're at 10, so it's hard to go aggressive. I'm not going to block your underdog. I'll take 3 all day. Okay. That is a bit annoying, the lifelink. That being said, sometimes you just gotta draw the out, you know? You just draw the out. Brutal Cathar will be brutal for our opponent. Yes, I will target it, and yes, I will take the damage. Put a counter on this guy. He's the hardest one to block. Next to attackers. Attack and enlist. Enlist this guy. We'll take another siege veteran. Do you want to block now? I imagine he pumps, tries to make me get rid of a card. Which we will do. Happily. Goodbye, hopeful initiate. We knew you not. The second siege veteran's gonna be very good. Ah, is he planning to go aggro? Yeah, this is a pretty easy block right here. One of the easier ones I've had. No need to let him draw a card. We get a soldier for free off of that anyway. Can't gain life. I do love that card in mono black. This guy's list is very similar to the list that I run in mono black. Okay, so put a counter on you. Put a counter on you. Attack, enlist. Yeah, I'll attack with this one too. Enlist this guy. Bottom, we don't need planes. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted to happen was the Gix to be gone. I don't really want to keep blocking. Okay, I think we got him. Does underdogs coming back count as a spell for the purposes of Brutal Cathar? I don't actually know. That was a pretty great draw for our opponent. Ooh, we got punished hard for the play that we made with the Gorger. That was literally the only good. Our opponent had so few outs there, and they just happened to get exactly what they needed. That's why underdog is good, people. He literally has nothing except for this Flesh Gorger. I'll go to 1. No skin off my back. 13. Can we deal 13 if he blocks our best creature? If he blocks our best creature, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We only get to 10. So we don't do that. We will put a counter on this, and we'll keep this card in hand, and we will double block your Flesh Gorger with a creature that eats your Flesh Gorger. How about no? Okay, threats are dealt with. Another siege veteran. Double block here, block here. Activate you. This one tenacious underdog has single-handedly kept our opponent in the game, which is kind of annoying. Why would you? Well, I guess that there's no reason to hold up. No reason to hold up. We're gonna play Protect the Negotiator if he underdogs again, even though it will not end up countering it, just because we want to get rid of as much of his mana as he can get rid of, so that we make attacks for him worse. Oh, we're dead. Doesn't matter. Yep, we are dead. Okay. So, sideboard. Maybe I'll get a Calamity's Wake. Or a March. I'll put a March in. And maybe a couple of Reconstructions. I'm gonna take out the counters. They didn't seem very good. I might be too quick to get rid of those, but I am gonna put in Calamity's Wakes. Both of them. And I'll only do one Brutal Cathar. The Phyrexian Flesh Gorger is good. It is a good card. Something you should actually absolutely be concerned about if you're playing. It makes Brutal Cathar brutal for you. This is a fine hand. We'd rather start on 1, but we're on the play. We'll start on 2 and go Benalia, Sky Strike. Fair enough run out. We have drawn all 3 of our islands. What an interesting opening. I hope he attacks. I will absolutely block him and get rid of one of these islands. Advantages of flooding out. That was bold, opponent. You're like, I'm sure that whatever is in your hand is not excess lands. And I'll trade a 1/1 for that. The chance to get 2 damage for a random card in your hand. No blocks. If he just makes that a 3, that's fine with me. But I imagine he's not going to do that. Maybe he makes it a 2 and then it kills my Sky Strike officer. That would be my guess. Or he just could play Snake's Thunderdog. That's fine too. This game, my goal is to have that thing never, ever, ever hit the graveyard. So, with that in mind, I'm just going to attack with the aerial troop. Yeah, it's probably worth it to make it lose this card for a land. Tap, tap, tap. Draw. Send this land away. Okay. Our opponent gave up. That is not bad. That was a pretty good running. We have a lot of really good threats. Our opponent is playing some medium threats. He really needs Flesh Gorger to be effective. And I was a little too scared of it by Brutal Catharing. We can play the grind game against Mono Black. So, I don't think this is not a hand we can keep. This is alright. The Calamity's Wakes to really come back to bite me. We're only playing 2 of them, but goodness gracious. At least we have Reconstruction, but we're gonna need it to do work here. Because we have nothing going on for turns and turns. So they can take Siege Veteran or Sky Strike Officer. Either way, that's going to make the choice easy for us to play the other one. Attacks for 3, maybe? Yep. Okay. Doesn't hurt my feelings. We'll play the Sky Strike Officer. I wonder if he's just going to pop removal on it. I'm not going to block. Couldn't block anyway. Cut it down. Sure. I was really hoping that wasn't what he had. Don't like that card. I don't want my opponent to have it. That being said, we can at least get rid of this. I'm not going to make the mistake of grabbing the Flesh Gorger again. We have too much ability to block a 3/3. And even if he kills Brutal Cathar, the Knight being under here will stop us from taking damage. So, positive there. Okay. Collected Company time. Pretty good hits. Okay, that's a good draw. We needed that. We weren't really able to block anything profitably before, but now we will be able to. He can hit us for 7 if he wants to, but that's not the worst. If he does that, yeah, we get to flip our Brutal Cathar, and it's going to flip back so we can eat the Evolved Sleeper. I think we're in a good spot. We are in a good spot. Play you, play you, play you. Combat. Whoops, nope, not that. 2 attackers. Attack with you. Attack with you, because we're not blocking with you. Make a 1/1, which is a 2/2 because of our guy. In turn, flips the Brute. Get rid of the Evolved Sleeper. Draws another card. That's fine. Pass 2 attackers. We will absolutely double block this guy. Okay, we won. The Flesh Gorger's good, but for some reason they took out all of their Planeswalkers from the Mono Black list. They're trying to run it as an aggro list, which could be good, but I don't think it's better than just putting the Planeswalkers in. Two wins so far out of 5, including that Mull to 5 win. That's probably going to be the one that sticks out for me the most. Solid hand, not ideal. We want one of our really good 3-drops or 4-drops. Oh, it's fine. We start on turn 1. We get to attack for 3 on turn 2. That's pretty good. Our opponent mulligans. hey, look at this recruitment officer, and then, hey, this recruitment officer. Sundown Pass, red-white. I'm not incredibly familiar with red-white in this format. Haven't seen a bunch of it. I bet it's got burned, probably. So we'll have to worry about that. I don't imagine our recruitment officer makes it in. Either that or he kills the Valiant Veteran. I wonder what he's gonna prioritize. Right now he's wondering what he's gonna prioritize. Okay, he prioritizes not taking damage, which is reasonable. But if he sits back next turn, we'll just start protecting him out of the game. I say that as we draw nothing but I'm gonna kill this guy. No treasure for you. Okay, now I'm remembering what red-white is. He's probably playing Reanimator. If he drops like Titan of Industry, we'll know that he's on. Oh, he's on Jeskai. Then I don't know. I think Reanimator is just white. Wedding announcements. That's fine. We're in this awkward spot where we have 3 counter spells, but we also want to keep up mana. I mean, we want to play things out because we need board presence, but we have these counter spells, which is all defense. It's getting a lot of tokens every turn. Okay, so I think this turn we do hold up our defenses. I will attack you with my Siege Veteran if you wish to trade some stuff. Okay. Now we just sit on our Protect the Negotiators. I would play my Thalia, but that prevents us from sitting on our Protect the Negotiators, so... We're still not in a great spot, but there are cards we could draw, like Mural, which would completely turn the game around in our favor. Don't really care about that. Oh my goodness. It's just kind of nonsensical, the hand that we have right now. For Protect the Negotiators. I would call this unreasonably poor running on our part. And it's possible that this is why you don't want to play so many copies of Protect the Negotiators. When I first made the deck, I only had 3. Only had 3 copies. And I added the 4th one because I wanted one less Valiant Veteran, because he didn't feel as good as I would have hoped in the deck. But right now, these Protect the Negotiators are not feeling as good as I would have hoped. Wants to draw cards instead of make tokens. That works for me. We can block as a 4/4 with Mishra's Foundry. It's not unreasonable for us to do. I zoned out for a second there, sorry. Fable. He can pay for it, so we let it go. If our running was just like a second closer, but once again, artifacts, enchantments, artifacts, enchantments. All that our opponent has are artifacts, enchantments. It's all over the format. It's interesting that he's not attacking. I really don't know what he's waiting on. I am probably just gonna play this and kill that. Reflection is annoying. I don't want any more of it, anything more to be reflected. I'm not gonna attack. You have a 6/6. You have a bunch of blockers. I'm just gonna leave it be. To be honest, I feel like we should have lost this game already, and our opponent is just playing oddly in such a way that gives us a chance, but it's his prerogative to do that if he wants to. We had a really bad opening hand, and we're still in the game, so shows a little bit of resiliency in the deck. No blocks. Take 4. Yeah, I don't know what our opponent's plan is, or if they have a plan. It doesn't really seem like they have a plan. Besides just drawing cards, making tokens. He can pay for this. He'll use all of his treasure. But it is definitely doable that he could pay for this. But he chose not to, which is reasonable. That's a lot of mana to spend just to kill something that taxes you a singular mana. Every turn he's just outvaluing us because we haven't gotten our creatures that let us draw cards. What a weird list. Like it's just a tokens, is a Jeskai tokens list? I'm gonna get rid of the Bank Buster though. If he doesn't put Benalia in front, we don't have to discard. And if he does put Benalia in front, he only kills 1 token. But he does make us discard. Which we will do. Happily. Because I don't want more Protect the Negotiators. It's all that I've had. All good. Ah. Now he got us. Good. Will he finally start attacking with his whole team now? Such a weird list. Okay, I'm just gonna go to game 2. That being said, very odd list by our opponent. What is going on with my mouse? Okay. Looks like it's coming back around. So we need Banishing Slash, March, Destroy Evil only kills enchantments, but did he have enough enchantments? Yes, he did. He had enough enchantments that we want to run this. I'm getting rid of our counter spells. Goodness gracious, that was an example of a time that we did not want it. Maybe we should board the counters. Brutal Cathars seem bad in this matchup because he has burn spells. And actually they don't seem bad. I should have cut Fateful Absence. In the next version of sideboarding, I'll cut Fateful Absence, 2 of them, and put the Brutal Cathars back in. Against tokens, Brutal Cathars are very good. Based on what I've seen out of this league, I might give it 1 more league, but if Mono Black truly isn't here, I will just take out our fun, obstinate bailouts. I don't know why, but my head feels kind of funny today. Like not, it doesn't hurt. It just feels kind of airy. Play first. Mulligan. I mean, this is fine. We'll get rid of 1 of our Fateful Absences. What on earth is going on? This mouse has had some issues. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me try and fix my mouse. It'll randomly start moving at like really slow speeds. And I have to go in and fix it. And then it'll randomly move back to high speeds, and I can never really tell what's happening. I don't want to be in full control. Take me out of full control. Okay. Play Guardians. Attack for 2. Much stronger start for us. Being on the play does that. We can play pretty aggressive. Yep, we'll definitely just kill him and kill him. Play Recruitment Officer. Scry to hit our land so we can play this mural. List. Try and find 1 land. Neither of these are lands, but they're both good cards in the matchup. I think we do keep them. We can always enlist again next turn. I don't want to get rid of a Banishing Slash when they probably are going to play. What's the card? The 3-mana white enchantment. Man, my head feels kind of out of it. Okay, play this Siege Veteran. He will veteranly siege you. Put it on our Recruitment Officer. Attack and list. Attack. Submit. This is kind of the weirdest way to do this. Like, why on earth would he let me scry to save 2 damage? I don't think that's a good play on his part. We get to play Mural next turn, and that's going to be really, really good. That's fine. Not ideal, but it's fine. Hey, look at this mural. And then I play this mural. And we have Vanishing Slash to deal with a lot of things that our opponent would be trying to do. And if he lets us go to our turn, he won't be able to interact with us at all. So he has to deal with it now at sorcery speed. Okay, there we go. And now we will make the change, go down 1, 2 of you, and add you 2 back and run it like that. Our opponent, I think, sideboarded a little strongly. Like, his deck did not do what it did in Game 1. He didn't have any aggressive threats. He just basically sat there on the back foot while trying to answer 1-for-1 against cards that we had. Okay, this is a keep. It's not the best keep, but like, it's a fair keep. Okay, so I think we play this guy. Next turn we play double Recruitment Officer, and turn 3 we play Valiant Veterans. Get some good attacks going. I will attack you with my Hopeful Initiate. Yeah, I had a feeling you wouldn't block there. If he doesn't have a way to disrupt what we're doing, we'll be in a really, really good spot when we play this Valiant Veteran next turn. And then Mural. Okay, that's not bad at all. If you want to go slow with your soldiers, we're coming fast. Two tokens for a card. That's a reasonable rate for us. We'll take that all day. Next turn we get to play Mural. If he wastes a removal spell on Valiant Veteran, that'll be great. Okay, surprise! You don't get to play cards on my turn. That's why Mural's so good. It says instant speed stuff? Nah, I don't like that. And next turn we can just play Thalia, Guardian of New Benalia, and then attack with Mural and get 6 soldiers? Okay, now I don't think we attack. Yeah, I'm gonna hold back. See what my opponent does. Looks like they have a... Okay, not a Bolt Surge. Interesting. More tokens. Yep, our opponent's a dedicated token deck.
Dive like hawks.
We're gonna have to really get him by doing this. Okay, first of all, We don't attack just yet. We play this, and next turn we attack. And then we will crunch their wedding festivity to make it so where their blocks are worse.
I know exactly what the metal wants to be.
That's unfortunate. I imagine he's found a way to deal with Myrel, if that's what he's doing. Oh, Urza. Ah, I see what you're doing now. It all makes sense. Yeah, I think we lose here. I messed up last turn. I didn't mean to go through my combat phase. I should have attacked with Myrel, but it doesn't really matter. They just have too much, too fast. We didn't have our anti-token stuff. We don't have our... The Hopeful Initiates just won away. Unfortunate. 2-2 so far. And I've already got a couple of changes in mind for the list. The number of times we're sideboarding out our counter spells is actually pretty high. So I don't know that we want them in the main deck at all. Hopefully we can get one more win out of this. Make some changes. Try again in a sec. Oh my. What is going on with my head? This is not good enough. It looks good enough because you've got Myrel, but it's not good enough. And so we will do... It's always tough. Do we keep the removal spell or do we keep... I'm always tempted to throw the removal spell back because it gives our opponent a card. But that could be wrong. Especially since we have Athalia. Interesting. That normally... I guess it's Jund. A Jund list? Yeah. I was about to say, you don't run Epicure in a deck that doesn't have the Black Vampire Harvester. Exactly. My opponent's reading my thoughts. Okay. Thalia. This might cause them to go ahead and sack the Harvester. Probably. That's fine with me. Yep. Fable. Oh, nope. No Fable. This card, man. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. It's honestly so annoying. I don't think there's a card that I can remember disliking so much that felt innocuous. Like, all of its modes are medium, except for the third one. The third one is bustedly good. But all of the rest of its modes are kind of medium. And, well, he's figured out a way to make me not block. Yep, you get your treasure opponent, and you get to keep your creature. Congrats. Well, we got up to 7 power on the board. Maybe we should have made a 5/5 so we could block the token. But I don't really want to. Our opponent's deck seems good, but why does it seem good? Because it's playing all of the best cards in Standard. And then adding like a couple wrinkles. The wrinkles are cute, but I don't think that they're necessary for our opponent to be doing what he's doing in this game. Like whether or not he had the Teething Wormlet would not change the outcome of this at all. Okay, but we've seen three artifact decks? 3 or 4? So we're gonna retune our sideboard a little bit, specifically to make sure we have things to deal with artifacts all the time. Because apparently artifacts all the time is the name of the game. I'll just give this guy a bunch of counters. 4/4, hard to remove. We're at a low life total, but now we turn on the blocks. Not that it helps too much, he's got 2 anvils. Obviously we block. You can draw your card, I'll get rid of mine. I'm surprised he didn't Reflection. Like, if I were him, I would have Reflection the token, put the crown on it. It's gonna die anyway. I'm guaranteed a card and potentially get 4 damage. Are you really not playing any cards? Okay, thank you. Yep, we can't win this game. Unfortunate. Sideboard, we bring in our Artifact Destruction package, which is not as robust as our Enchantment Destruction package, but I guess he does have some enchantments. Why is it glowing? Why do some of the cards glow? Is it like the full art ones glow? That's so interesting. And wait, the Siege Veteran glows too. Oh no, it's just the Brutal Cathar's glow. Okay, I've gotta stop wasting my own time. Goodbye, Protect the Negotiators. Like, it's too slow. Protect the Negotiator's too slow. I might remove it from the deck entirely. I don't... That's probably wrong, but it is felt actively bad in most games. One Fateful Absence down. One Guardian down. Run it like that. So far I'd say our deck underperformed, but then again, underperforming is what helps us figure out how we want to adjust the deck. And we have figured out many ways to adjust the deck to make it more of what we need it to be. We need to draw a land. We can get rid of him if we want to. And since we have nothing else to do, might as well. And we can attack with the Guardian and Scry. The number of times we've scryed on this Guardian Juvenalia is actually really high. Hey, a land. We'll take it. Imagine if we would have had a land last turn, right? We play, even if we made the same play, but this turn, we get to march that guy instead of just play a Sky Strike Officer. I'll take the Brutal Cathar. Our opponent is at quite a low life total, so we have a chance to do good things here. Brutal Cathar will get rid of their token. Cut down. Yep, no way to avoid that. Cut down's a very good card right now. Interesting. I guess he has a 3-drop he wants to play. Or a 4-drop. Blood Tithe. Blood Tithe is fine. Okay, so now we play the Cathar. Grab your token. Goodbye, token. That actually does stop us from taking his token. That being said, I'd much rather him do that than do it against one of our better creatures. Time to see if he'll take 4 again. I just want to land right now, so I'm putting all of those to the bottom. Probably will, because Blood Tithe Harvester can sack itself to make sure he deals with Guardian next turn. I might just spend next turn clearing off the board from him, because I can destroy evil. If he does not use Blood Tithe Harvester to kill Guardian, that is a mistake on his part. But it's a mistake that I hope that he makes. Attack with your Blood Tithe. Attack with your Blood Tithe. Yeah, I don't think there was a world where he wouldn't be wanting to do that. That being said, Fable of the Mirrorbreaker is such an annoying card. Four 0. Confirm. Submit 0. Get rid of that. Even then, if we hadn't missed our land drops, we would have been absolutely fine in this game. Interesting. So he doesn't get the token for sacking the token if he does it on my turn. I'm a little surprised that he did that. But I guess he gets it back the second he uses a treasure. Yeah, if we don't have a good draw here, and I don't even really know what that draw needs to be. Yeah, we're just gonna call it. Okay, we have figured out what we needed to know. And the deck will change and adapt. So it looks like mono black's not really a thing right now. We saw it one time, but our deck just beat it anyway. Oh, nice. I don't think counter spells are gonna make a huge difference. Okay. So the memes are going away. Goodbye, Baloth. Bye-bye, Bailoff. Okay, Platoon Dispenser. It was really hard to find times that I wanted to bring it in. So I'm going to take it out all the way. These counter spells are going to go into the board. I want you in the board, please. And I think it's a fine sideboard card. Kayla's Reconstruction. It was fine, but it was not super impressive. I think it's better for us to include more marches. Does double duty against Delver. Banishing Slash, very necessary for the artifacts. I'm just gonna pump that one up to 4. Like, since there isn't much control right now, Calamity's Wake doesn't look as good. I don't know that we need any more Destroy Evil, but maybe we do. I mean, that's a lot of artifact destruction. That is a lot. That being said, that was like all we played against was artifacts and enchantments. And we might want to play Lauren as a 2 of. It's a creature that destroys artifacts and enchantments. That's a positive. Okay, so how are we changing our main deck? I would like 1 more Hopeful Initiate, 1 more Brutal Cathar. It's possible we put Lauren in the main deck because of how these things have gone. What other soldiers could we play? Exile a card from a graveyard wouldn't be terrible. Like, I'm looking mostly at the 2-drop slot because that's where it feels like we need a little bit more gusto. Easy. 2 Cathar Commandos. Yep, that's how we're gonna run it. We will not lose to artifacts and enchantments again. This deck is fortified to beat exactly that. So I'm just gonna run it right back with our new list, see how it goes. Hopefully beat up on some artifact and enchantment list. Now that we can basically remove every artifact or enchantment from play. That being said, a bunch of them produce value while doing that stuff, so we gotta watch watering down our deck too much for those effects. When we bring in all the removal, we want to make sure that we're not bringing it in at the expense of our creatures. I'm not sure I'm going to play all the way through this today. Like, I just feel kind of woozy. This is fine. It's not good, but it's fine. 2, 3, 4, and this guy's a 6. Hopeful Initiate. This guy is on my same plan. I wonder if he's just playing traditional mono white. It does appear that way. Nice. You got a Guardian, I got a Guardian. Guardians, Guardians. That being said, this matchup in particular, Brutal Cathar, is very good. So having their 3rd copy is actually awesome in this matchup in particular. And next turn we get to play Mural. I wonder if he's got Adalink. Yep. He's just playing traditional mono white. The way that my deck was... I think I still have a deck list similar to this deck list. I don't really want any more lands. I'm fine sending those to the bottom. Valiant Veteran, a non-bow, none of his creatures are soldiers. I don't think you play Valiant Veteran in this list. You can play it in other lists, but like you don't want to play it in this exact build. So we play this guy, play this guy, go to combat, you attack and enlist, and enlist, okay. I guess we can bring in some Destroy Evils. Might not be bad. We can take out our Cathar Commandos. And actually drop one of our Thalias. Thalia's not too good in this matchup. Because any deck that is playing Thalia, inherently it's not limited by Thalia all that much. That being said, it is a 2/1 first striker, so not the worst. I imagine they're also bringing in more removal, as they should, to deal with our Mural. Yep, this is perfectly fine. I like your play, opponent. I'll do the exact same thing. I imagine we just trade here. Like, there's no way he can play it in such a way where we don't trade. So it's like, obviously we will. Now I play this guy. I play this guy. I'll trade again if he swings his veteran. Ah, he brought in his own Brutal Cathars. That's pretty funny. No trades this time, I suppose. Oh, hey. Love that for us. I actually want him to make his Brutal Cathar just like slightly stronger. Interesting that he chose to take that one. Okay, so play this guy. Go to combat. Hey, it's a 3/3. Now it can block your Brutal Cathars and get back my creatures. Oh no, he once again got rid of something. Why did I not play my recruitment officer that turn? What was I thinking? Man, I messed up that play pretty badly. That being said, now I get to say, hey, look at all this And the Mishra's Foundry block here might catch him off guard. Perfect. You there, you there. Oh no, I forgot to... Oh my goodness. Put your +1/+1 counter on.
You started this fight, but I'm going to end it.
That's not where I wanted it to be.
I have got new moves to teach you.
I will just go ahead and activate this. There we go. There we go. Brutal Cathar coming in clutch. to get us back our person. And we are not going to attack. I really want him to make his Brutal Cathar a little bit bigger so that we can kill it with our Destroy Evil and get back everything that was ours. That being said, we can also just get back our Siege Veteran. Does he have another one? Otherwise, why did he... Yeah, that doesn't seem fantastic for you. I will absolutely kill your veteran. Here's what I'm gonna do. You and you here. And you here. Tap, tap, tap. That's pretty good. Valiant Veteran off the board.
We must protect the people.
That's slightly annoying in the situation. But now we have our Valiant Veteran. And, get rid of that. Yeah. I think we've stabilized. At 3, so it was very close. But, I do believe we have done it. Is he gonna get rid of my Guardian of Benalia? My Brutal Cathar, so he gets back his Brutal Cathar. Okay. We did not stabilize. He got us there. That being said, I think on the plate, we are fine. I am going to bring in some more marches and go down... I think I go down all of my Thalias. Yep, run it like that. And we're on the play, which inherently is better for us. Mulligan. This is fine, but not good. Add car waste to the bottom. Play Mishra's Foundry. Zero, just go ahead and say goodbye to you. That's fine. Split Brutal Cathar. And brutally Cathar you. Nice. We're just gonna go ahead and murder you. Attack. Mural is a good card. So good that I think I just leave it to swap. One blocker. Ah, I can't actually do that. Unfortunate. So I can activate the land, but I can't activate the ability. Ugh. Right now, this guy's just drawing better than us. And that happens. What was I seeing that's... Clearly, there's some cards that I don't like seeing in the matchup. I had all that removal and I used it too soon to be mana efficient. I think that was the issue. Because the removal is good and the removal is necessary, but you've got to use it on the right targets. I didn't want to get too far behind, and I ended up getting really far behind because I had no way to deal with all the threats that he kept playing. I think our deck is better tuned to beat the majority of other decks, but is not necessarily tuned to beat mono-white version of soldiers. It's a good hand. I think we play Hopeful Initiate on one. Yep, we play Hopeful Initiate on one. Not a soldier, but we don't have a soldier payoff. Recruitment Officer has good utility later. Hopeful Initiate will be a solid addition. Thalia. Now I know he can't kill my Hopeful Initiates. And he won't be able to play Fable of the Mirror Breaker, as I know he is wanting to do. Guess he takes Cut Down, so that he can kill Thalia next turn. That's fine. We have another Thalia. We'll just run it back. Oh, he missed a land drop. It's gonna be good. Hope you have another cut down. Yeah, I think this game's over for our opponent. We're gonna play Mural. We're going to attack with everybody. Mural's gonna grow exponentially. A second Wormlet's not gonna change that. His hand was as good as it could be for being stuck on 2 lands. That being said, this Brutal Cathar is probably gonna cause a concession. Well, it didn't concede. Surprising, but good for him. I don't know how he comes back from this, though. And we don't have to do anything with our mana. We can just consistently... use it on Recruitment Officer. But I do think we play this guy. And attack you with a whole bunch of stuff. Yep. Our opponent's deck pretty low to the ground. It's got some creatures that like to get big. Has some artifacts, so let's bring in the artifact team. Maybe Siege Veteran is something that I take out in this matchup. What if I take out Siege Veteran and I take out Valiant Veteran in this, or I put 1 or 2, and I bring in a bunch of Artifact Destruction. Drop 1 of you. Do I like that? I think I do. I'm gonna run it like this. We have a lot of Artifact Destruction, and 4 of it is on creatures. Preto-kun, we shall defeat you. I'll keep this. Healing Wormlet is back. This guy, show him this guy. If you want to attack with the Wormlet, I will trade. Come on, attack with it. Do it, coward. Do it. Okay, attack. Look at that, we don't have anything to do. It's so sad. Nothing to do on 2. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? So he takes another Wormlet. Gotcha. He doesn't have red right now. This is gonna be funny. Surprise! Surprise! Enchantment removal for days! Everything removes enchantments. Every single thing. What about that? We'll kill him! He's dead! Yep, you got it, Chief. I ain't making us draw cards together. You can draw cards by yourself. So, a deck based in artifacts is going to have to play through 2 Banishing Slashes, has 2 Teething Wormlets already down. Play the Sky Strike Officer. I'll attack. You want to trade off? Yep. Congrats. I'm not scared of Fable. I'm definitely not scared of a second Fable. Okay, play a land, play this guy. Attack you with the officer, make a token. Blow up this Fable of the Mirrorbreaker. Goodbye. No block. My card in hand is worth more. I'll probably just kill the other Fable, to be honest. Nope, I'm killing that. That's the one I'm killing. We are kind of flooding out, which is unfortunate. And we're gonna need to find some removal for the Fable. That being said, we do have a whole lot of it. Two lands, just what you like to see. Block. Submit. Wait, full control. Tap. Rainbow the Mirrorbreaker is such a dumb card. Such a dumb card. Yeah, no. We lose. There's no way to come back now that he's got infinite copies of Blood Tithe Harvester. Never should have been printed. Never, ever, 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 ever should have been printed. I don't know how you can make a mistake like that. For the ability to infinitely go off with itself, the ability to... It just does too much. You don't even need the rest of the deck. But then, of course, they gave it the rest of the deck, too. They gave it a bunch of cards that will help it deal with... Help you deal with anything that happens on the board. We'll try it. This is not ideal. But, we have spells and lands, and we have this guy that can deal with enchantments. We are already flooding now. We need to draw something. And of course we just keep drawing lands. Kill it. Thank you. You gave us a play this turn. And we don't want to play Lauren because we need that for killing enchantments and artifacts. That's fine. Equip it and race me. Doesn't want to. Seems kind of lowish value, but we will go ahead and do it anyway. Goodbye. Attack for 2. We have the Beachhead next turn to make our attacks even stronger. I'm probably going to use Lauren because I'm running out of cards faster than my opponent's running out of cards. So, just give me the chance to catch back up. I wonder if they will notice that I can attack through. Attack! Oh wait, this isn't a soldier. You got me. That is right. You're ahead of the game. I definitely feel that this deck was overtuned. So significantly overtuned that it's like... I don't even know. I mean, Fable is what you hit, right? That is just the truth of the matter. Thank you, deck, for giving me a Brutal Cathar. Goodbye, you. Okay, so we can deal with all of his creatures right now. Or next turn. I am just going to activate and grab our Brutal Cathar friendo. So, I would say things aren't going too bad in this game. Now things are going pretty bad, but we're still just gonna Brutal Cathar that, and we'll have a chance to play. Bing. Bing. Even if he has a way to get it back, it's just a 1/1. I would say that was nice, but all we're gonna do with it is activate our beachhead. He's not a soldier on the other side. Oops. Okay. Give me a recruitment officer. A recruitment officer, please! Valiant veteran is fine, but once again, not a soldier. Not a soldier at all. I wonder if he'll remember that he's already played one creature and play around it again. Or he'll play another spell. Ooh. How about that? Goodbye. Like, our opponent just got lucky that we had a whole bunch of lands in our opening hand. We've been running poorly today. Yep. Fable of the Mirror Breaker being in red is just like such a... Every single deck plays it because it fixes your draws. Like, in our flood out, if we had Fable of the Mirror Breaker, we just play Fable. And now all of a sudden we have lands to play. Ugh. That card needs to be banned. It does. I'm just tired of it. Like, I was tired of it before, and I was hopeful that this standard wouldn't just be a Fable Fest, but it is just a Fable Fest again. They're like, we'll give it a token, and that token is not just a 2/2, it's a 2/2 that ramps you and fixes you. It does everything you could possibly want. This is a bad hand too, but we're just not getting... We're not getting lucky at all with any of these hands, so we decline. Like, we're playing soldiers and we're starting on turn 3. We have so many 1 and 2 drops. We only have 1 2-drop that is not a creature, and it is in our hand right now. And you get it. Congrats. But, and of course, Bug comes right back to our hand. Hooray. We didn't want it. I was happy that it was gone. I would have traded it for any card in my opponent's hand already. Well, time to show him the bug. Yep, just came right back to my hand. You took it, and it came right back. And now we got our 3/3 soldier, so at least it's out of cut down range. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. It's so obvious. Everything is Fable. All is Fable. There is nothing but Fable in this world anymore. Like, our opponent is heavily incentivized to deal with Mural, so I don't want to make him more incentivized to deal with Mural by putting a counter on it. If he doesn't sack his clue main phase, he won't be able to sack his clue. That's a funny interaction that might come up. If he attacks him not blocking, he'll have already made his treasure. And I don't want to get hit with a 3 damage or a 2 damage burn spell. It's just not worth. No blocks. Interesting. Why would he not kill Mural there? Or do you have 2 removal spells? We just need to draw a soldier. Singular soldier. And things will be good to go. That counts as a soldier. Look at that. Soldier. Go to combat, attack. Oh look, we made 2 soldiers. And not only that, I'm gonna sack this and kill you. Let's see. Shield Rid is annoying, makes it hard to block, but at least we don't have to deal with the Blood Tithe Harvester Forever plan. We're gonna need to draw something. Okay, so here's our plan. We're attacking. We're not attacking. We can't attack. We have no good attack. We are locked out by 1 singular Shield Rid because he's had removal spells for our whole board, and he's Fable of the Mirror Breaker, and he played this card, which is removable, and it also gives him filtering, and this card that also gives him filtering, and everything also gives him filtering, and he just has... Whew. And this card was removal, that also gives him card draw. They really have pushed to the moon cards right now. Which, sure, that's fine. If the design philosophy you want is to push cards to the moon, you go and you push cards to the moon. But it's made it so where playing lists like this is not as reasonable as just running good stuff lists. Oh, it's only attacking some. Oh my goodness. That would explain why we had a misconception about the Foundry. It only does it to attacking assembly workers. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. We might end the stream pretty soon. I think my head weariness combined with just having to play Fable over and over again has zapped my enthusiasm. That being said, I'm gonna rebound. I know this has probably not been the most fun to watch, especially recently with me just complaining. I'm gonna bring it back, and I'm gonna fix this deck list. It's still not where it needs to be. I might have overcorrected just a touch. Hey, finally, a hand, a really good hand. I'm gonna get rid of the Initiate. If we could draw 3-drop into 4th land, that would be perfect. 2-drop into 4th land is fine, but it's not actively good. I imagine he's got a cut down. And he's just trying to say, like, I don't want to cut down a 2-1 when I could hold it for something better. Hopefully we do not give him something better to play it on. We just keep showing him Guardian of Nubinalias. Be like, the one card you can get rid of is Recruitment Officer. Go to combat. Yep, he definitely has removal. He does need to remove Recruitment Officer now, so that we don't get to scry. I imagine here comes the threat part of his deck. These things just write themselves, you know? Whoops, nope, not doing that. Hopefully he doesn't have Brothers War here. But we really can't afford to play around everything. We can't really afford to play around anything. I do think I overcorrected the deck just a touch. I think that's probably pretty obvious based on how much enchantment and artifact removal I brought in. Just pass the turn, buddy. So rude. I don't have to sack it because I got another one. And the reflection with that other creature isn't doing anything. So that's a positive. Whew. That is funny. That is funny.
Those who get in my way tend to regret it. I've always hated crowds.
So you are going here, and you are going here.
This isn't how things were supposed to go.
Well, we've dealt with the board for the most part. Now we only have to worry about his 3 cards in hand. Oh hey, it's a shield trick. Woo! Woo! We can attack with the Guardian next turn.
This is my home, and I don't appreciate it when people touch my things.
He always points to something like, you should sack this.
Off you go.
So, like, obviously I'm not sacking Mural.
I'm tired of your secrets.
Hey, that's not bad. Hooray, something that's not bad. There's just so many axes that this deck plays on. That's one of the struggles that I'm finding. They attack you from so many different sides, and their deck just churns through itself because everything is adding additional value. It makes it very hard to develop a game plan that's going to survive. If I were them, I would have attacked with the 1/1s, and if I blocked with Mural, then he could just kill Mural with his Blood Tithe Harvester. And once again, there's no reasonable way that I could play around that.
Oh, that's my cue to
It's
leave.
just a
Sacrifices
horribly
must be made.
miserable experience playing against these decks. And this is the same deck, by the way, that was played so heavily last meta. So like the shift that we got from the new cards is so slight compared to the old cards. They're still just the strongest thing you can be doing. Hooray for that. Nah, there's no point. Goodbye. I'm gonna play out my last two, but the deck clearly needs work. I would say if you're looking to win a league, just go right back to playing Black-Red. Is the feeling that I get. You get the most busted cards by playing Black-Red. Access to pretty much all of the strongest of the strong. Yes, Mural's good. Yes, these cards are good. But your opponent has Brotherhood's in, your opponent has... They have mass removal and card advantage on like every step of the curve. Every single step. So this deck is fun. It can be good. I would only run it if you're content with getting crushed by Black-Red. And if you are content with getting crushed by Black-Red, this deck is a good deck to play because it can do a lot. It crushes Delver. It eats Delver for breakfast. It has a really good play with our new sideboard against the enchantment list. A 2/3 first striker. How about die? we're drawing all of our fair cards. Like, our good cards are 3 mana cost cards. The rest of our cards are just designed to get us there and have some sort of a presence on board for them to work with. Interesting that he would play his own Thalia. Their Fiend deck normally plays a lot of creatures. I mean, non-creatures. And now they cost so much to cast. You got it, Chief. Don't worry. Another Dinnick. Well, at least we can use this guy's ability. Draw some more cards. It is also possible that some of my negative feelings towards what's going on right now could be attributed to the fact that my head does not feel great. And I do notice, like, in hindsight, that when my head started feeling not great is exactly the point in time where I started to stop having fun. So bear that in mind. This deck could probably still is really good and really fun, and the only reason that I haven't been enjoying it as much is because my head doesn't feel great, and then I ran into the same thing over and over again. Like, our opponent this time is playing something new, which is great. How would he attack with Alien, though? Does not seem like his best plan. I mean, I guess he's just trying to connive 3 onto his lifelinker. But that doesn't bother me. I can get rid of that with Brutal Cathar next turn. Past blockers. You block you, you block you, you block you. I'm tempted to just let my Guardian go, but it's probably wrong to do that. And because of the first strike damage, Adelaine's attacking as a 4/4, not a 5/5, so she can only kill the Hopeful Initiate. Now I don't have to pitch a card. Which is why I did it like that. My turn. Play this, play Brutal Cathar. Get rid of your Dinnick. Really, the only reason I got rid of Dinnick there instead of the other guy is so that I could Recruitment Officer again and keep my threats up. Hey, look, that's a good card. I am going to be out of town for the next little bit. If you saved to watching this part of the stream, dude, you're like the best person in the whole world because there's that chunk in the middle that where I'm just raging. Baby rage. Connive 2. So there's a good chance that I can kill this Thalia unless he discards 2 Okay, yeah, he's just giving me his Thalia for free. He doesn't want a Thalia around anymore. Ding! Get rid of my other Thalia. It's not doing anything. Why would... I guess he was just trying to get rid of the cards in his hand? The lands and try and draw something else, but like that doesn't seem very good. I'm hoping here we draw another Brutal Cathar. Mural. Mural's good. I might have to block with Sky Strike Officer, but that could be fine. Whenever you discard a card, you can exile it and get it back. Okay. I can eat your Thalia pretty easily, if that is your intent. Also, I can block your Rafine. But this deck also turns through its deck very fast, but this deck is much more reasonable. Exile this. When it dies, you can put them back into its owner's hands. Pass to blockers. Okay, you block you, and you block you, and nothing can block the flyer. So 2 blocks. That I did not consider. Tap, tap, tap. Yeah, we're most likely dead in the air. Most likely. Let's see, if I play this, do I still have enough to tap? Yes, I do, so I will do that. Okay. So if our opponent plays this correctly, we're dead in the air. Which is to put it on Rafine. Okay, yeah, we're just dead. Ugh. I don't think we change anything, though. I think we run back the same list. It really was just they had an uncontested Rafine for a long time. We have cards that could deal with Rafine, but it got uncontested for too long. For too long. So that was the issue. Nothing else. It's possible I should have gotten the Rafine earlier, but the huge lifelinker seemed like a big threat, but it really wasn't. When you're playing something fair like we're playing, you just really have to be... You have to be exact with your removal. I think I am going to bring Soul Partition into the deck. It deals with anything. It's way more flexible. So I'm going to try it out like that. I think that's a good idea. Like, it gets rid of tokens completely too, right? You don't have to worry about your opponent playing tokens when you can play Soul Partition. When it exiles them, they're not coming back. I am totally fine with you locking down your non-creature spells by playing Athalia. Toulouse seems pretty good. And now when it dies, she can get another Toulouse. And what has he got in Toulouse? Nothing. Nothing at all, Toulouse. Okay, now I attack with this guy. Ain't no blocking that can be done. And we won't face the same mistake that we faced before. We are not going to block with our Miro. That being said, they don't have white this time. I guess it can add legendary. I didn't realize the legendary sub didn't have the list until they put Plaza of Heroes. I guess that's why they're playing the Conductor. Hey look, a Rafine. This time it shall be a contested Rafine though. I'm so glad you attacked opponent. I'm so glad. Now I can get rid of your Rafine with the Brutal Cathar and not have to worry about leaving something else behind. Bing! Now will you look at that? I can attack you with a bunch of things and get a bunch of tokens. And even more tokens. It is kind of weird that they can activate that under Miro. Like, she prevents so much stuff, but the channel abilities of lands is not one of the things that she gets rid of. It is brutal that the second Brutal Cathar always wins. I'll block. One soldier, save 5 damage. Next we play these two. Should be pretty good. Hopefully we can stop Rafine with this. it is kind of... It's really good how fast they can turn through their deck. Look at that. They just put 3 lands into the bin. Past blockers. If you have another one, you have another one. That's whatever. He does have another one. He always has another one. Bing, bing, bing. Bing, bing, bing. Why would he do that? Just make it so where I can't play 2 cards. Oh right, I can't even do that. Yeah, no. They just get to draw too many cards, like... I guess we do need to bring in all of our Rafine removal in that matchup. I have learned. I'm gonna adjust the deck. This version is not where we need it to be. We've got some things to do to make it where we want it to be. I don't think the Sat guy is worth main decking. I'm taking that card out 100%. Maybe Lauren is worth main decking, but the Sat guy is not this good hand. If we draw one more land, we go 1, 2, 3, which is very good. So, if you're seeing in these games, the Flash Soldier 3-1, cut it. Get rid of it. The fact that it has to sack itself to deal with the enchantment is bad. I get that it's a soldier, and I wanted to I put it in because it was a soldier. No thanks. You can recast that every turn if you'd like. I'm just going to go, hey look at this soldier and attack you for 3. I would really like a land. A land would make us in a really good spot. Right now we're in a pretty good spot, but I want to be in a really good spot. Whew. I wonder if they just go like Swift Spear. Ah. Spending his full turn to get rid of that guy. Sure, whatever. We didn't draw land, we drew 2 of these guys, which are fine blockers. Will be even better blockers next turn when I can make them 2/2s. We really need to draw land. Hey look, more Fable of the Mirror Breakers. Isn't it just what you always wanted? Good thing we have this Brutal Cathar. Feel brutalized. Even Mono Red Burn is playing Fable of the Mirror Breaker. That's how ubiquitous it is. A Jaya. Interesting. Jaya and a bronze... What on earth are you doing with a bronze plate for? A 3-2 trample. That's odd. I guess they're all in on the Dragon Spark reactor plan. Okay, our opponent just died. Literally is dead. I guess we have 9 on board, so we're not technically dead, but when I play this guy, give a counter to this guy, and attack you for 11, then you're dead. It doesn't really help all that much to have a creature that goes back to your hand. We're going to put in the Lorens and we're going to take out the Cathar Commandos. Otherwise, I'm just going to run back the same list. They had Fable of the Mirror Breaker, but I don't think that's worth changing the main deck too much. Brutal Cathar is bad against enter the battlefield abilities, but most of the cards that I've seen don't actually have that many enter the battlefield abilities, so I might add the 4th Brutal Cathar in the next iteration of the deck. That is my plan. And swapping the 2 Cathar Commandos with Lorens as a permanent thing, and probably taking the Cathars out of the sideboard too. So we'll have 2 more sideboard slots that we can consider. I might put back in the Calamity's Wakes. Those are really good against control, but I haven't seen a lot of control that isn't just the black-red removal-based control. So there's that. Yeah, I don't like this opponent's name. That's one of the first time that I've disliked an opponent's name on here. It's like an IP Freely joke, except it's unkeepable hand, 1 land, not gonna do it. 4 lands is bad, but it's better than 1, so I think we get rid of the Foundry. The Foundry's proven to be kind of medium. I haven't liked it as much as I expected that I would. Having Guardian in this matchup is very good. Guardian survives. That is its number 1 role. We have Brutal Cathar for Fable. What do I get rid of? If he attacks, I probably get rid of Fateful Absence. If he tries to burn, probably the same. Looks like he's attacking. Oh, he's not attacking. Interesting. Okay, so since he's left up all his mana, I'm just gonna do this. Lauren, kill your Goro. Actually, that's not an artifact, it just has a weird frame. That was my bad. I don't know why I thought that was an artifact. That's funny. Well, I'll attack. You didn't want to, but I'll do it. I imagine that if he didn't attack, he's not going to trade. And at the very least, Lauren can still kill his Goro if I just block with it. It can also start drawing us both cards, but I probably don't want to do that against a deck like this. I'm confused. He didn't spend his mana at all that turn. So I don't really know what he was waiting on. Seismic Wave. 2 damage to any target and 1 damage to each non-artifact creature. So he is dealing... Wait a second. 2 damage to any target. Okay. Gotcha. We figured it out. You will kill my Loran, but you will not kill my Guardian. And you can't attack me for 2 though, so that's good for you. We have a good news situation though, that we get to play Mural, and Red has some ways for dealing with a 4 toughness creature, a lot more than they used to, but it's still not the easiest thing to deal with. Also, it basically says, if you had a burn spell to use on Guardian, you better use it right now, because you won't get to next turn. Meryl. It's probably Meryl. I don't know why I am waffling on its pronunciation. Okay. So far, so good. We're not blocking if he attacks. It's possible that we want to put a Ganjo on in our list too. I'd been avoiding it because, well, this is one of the more... I like the look of these blades better. It's kind of sad that is my reasoning, but it really was my reasoning, is that I like the look of the blades better than a Ganjo. And a Ganjo, 1 or 2 of them is probably gain control of my creature. Oh my goodness. That was unexpected. You planning on making some soldiers, friend? So he gets a soldier, and he hits me for 5. Okay, that was a little odd, but we're just gonna play this guy and get rid of your soldier. You had it. It's gone now. We'll attack, and we'll get 3 of mine. Pax Betrayal. That is such a weird card. I wonder if we're playing against a deck with a bunch of odd cards that seems a little slow and undertuned because we've lost all of our games so far with this iteration of the deck. That would make sense. They're like, we gotta get him at least 1 win. We'll put him against someone who also has 4 losses. You see, this is the kind of artifact thing that made me bring in Lauren of the 3rd Path, but I really haven't seen artifacts. It's so weird. No, I'm not gonna block. I will take 2 damage to make 2 more soldier tokens. That was a good draw. And like, it's so nice to have Mural out because you know that they're not going to be able to interact with that at all. And now we just get 7 more soldier tokens. All of these are artifacts. So surprisingly, if we had Patchwork Automaton, ding ding ding, a bunch of artifacts. It's possible you can play Mural in a deck that is not soldiers. Just because the soldiers kind of ramp themselves up as artifacts. I don't really know what our opponent could have. They could have that card, the weird card they played earlier of Seismic Wave, but it doesn't deal damage to artifact creatures, so it doesn't actually hit any of these. I don't think there's like Gruesome Realization that our opponent could have. Okay. I didn't think. But our opponent was not in black. I was just trying to think of effects that could get our opponent back in the game. And that was the first one that came to mind. Well, we got one pack from this league, and we got Knowledge. And Knowledge is valuable. More valuable than this pack. But Simian Simulacrum is not a bad card. Okay, let us take our Knowledge. And you are out of the deck entirely. I do think it's worth playing one of these in the main deck and another one of those. And what did we want to try out? Soul Partition. Fateful Absence is fine, but this deals with most things better than that? It's tough to say. Like, normally, because our deck's an aggro deck, we just want to be getting rid of things for a little while until we've set up an unbreakable board. And Soul Partition does that very well. And it deals with anything. Our sideboard is a little too tuned to beat artifacts and enchantments. What if we get rid of some of our Destroy Evils? Maybe all of our Destroy Evils. And just put in a bunch of Soul Partitions into the board. We'll try it out on the board first, and if we like it, we'll bring it into the main deck. Okay, so another Lauren. What is our plan? When do we bring in the Banishing Slashes? Against artifact and enchantment decks. When do we bring in Protect the Negotiators? Against decks with sweepers, mostly control. When do we bring in Soul Partitions? Against things with 4 and 5 drop creatures that, or planeswalkers, or artifacts or enchantments that we really want to get rid of. Also, like, we can exile tokens with this, so this is good in token matchups. It's also an instant, which is great, so you can, if Wedding Announcement's on the field, you can just exile Wedding Announcement and suddenly their creatures are smaller than they thought they would be. Or you could just get rid of tokens. There's so many uses for Soul Partition that I think it has to be good. I could be wrong on that, but I think it is very good. Lauren's coming in against artifact and enchantment decks, and the Marches are coming in against artifact and enchantment decks, as well as Delver matchups. Also, you're bringing a Banishing Slash against Delver matchups, too. And against Black-Red, you're most often sideboarding out Brutal Cathar. Maybe not every copy, but if you can't keep the opponent's creature exiled under it, you don't really want to be playing Brutal Cathar. You can use harder removal that gets rid of it permanently. Yeah, a Ganjo. The land. Let us see. I don't actually know how to spell a Jono. What is it called? Maybe I just go to advanced search terms. It was from Kamigawa. Rare land. Craft. Okay. We will craft a couple of these. We have 46 wild cards, so not gonna tax too much on our crafting materials to put these two into the deck and drop, drop 2 planes. Okay, this is our new iteration of the deck. And we will try it out next time I run through a league. I think it'll do much better. It was a shame that we never got to play against a discard deck when we had the 4 Obstinate Baloths in the sideboard. But if you're seeing a lot of discard, just put the Obstinate Baloths on the sideboard. Have a fun time. like that. But I think that is where I'm going to call it a stream for today. Thanks for watching. I'm a Flyer Power. If you enjoyed what you saw, make sure to like and subscribe. We got this draft token for later too, so we'll have to play a draft again at some point. And I'll see you next time. Peace.